Hello beautiful, welcome back to Nat's Beautiful Life. Today I'm going to be sharing with you kind of what I've been reading, well not kind of, what I've been reading since the beginning of the month. So just kind of like a mid-month check-in, talking about the books that I've read so far and go a little bit more in depth with them. That way when I get to the monthly wrap up at the end of the month, that video won't be like 30-45 minutes long. If you're new to this channel, hello, my name is Natasha and I do videos on books, bullet journaling, art journaling, media, anything I want to do a video about because hey, why not? I would love for you to subscribe, click the notification bell if you're into that sort of thing. I post every Friday and then every so often there's one during the week, and so that notification bell will help you know when I do that. And I appreciate all of you for checking me out today, whether you're new or OG or one of the newer subscribers that have been along for the ride the past several months. Thank you guys, I appreciate you. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So the first book that I want to talk about, let me get the actual title here out of my bullet journal here. The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared by Jonas Johansson. This is translated from Swedish, and there is a contemporary component, so you're in 2005, and then you have a historical fiction component because you go back to 1905 and you're going through Alan, that's our main character's life. We start the book with Alan coming out of the window because it's his 100th birthday. He's in a nursing facility. He does not like the director of the facility, and she has planned a birthday party called the mayor, has the news media there, all of that, and he wants no part of it. So out the window he goes. All right, so the reason why I chose this book to listen to was because I was coming off of reading like Pachinko and Next Year in Havana and all these kind of more serious books, and I just wanted something fun. And this book came up on my thing, like suggestions, and I was like, that sounds like a good time. It sounds like light and airy and fluffy and humorous, and I'm here for it. I am so glad I listened to this book. I describe it as the Swedish Forrest Gump because Alan goes through so many things and he meets so many people and he's involved in so many important things, and he's not a stupid man, but he's also not terribly bright. He's very much literal and in the moment, and has a problem, and he's going to be like, well, here's the solution I'm thinking of right now. And that is basically the book, or Alan in a nutshell. He does, he leaves, so when he leaves the nursing facility, he goes to the bus station, and he sees there's a man who has a suitcase, and he also looks like he really needs to go to the bathroom, and the guy's figured out that he cannot put the suitcase in the bathroom with him, so he asks Alan, this sweet old man, to watch his suitcase while he goes to the bathroom. While Alan sees the bus people come up, and he's like, I'm just gonna take the suitcase with me. So Alan takes off with the suitcase, and that suitcase has millions and millions of dollars in it. It's from like that guy that was in the bathroom was a gang member, and that money was for the Russian mob for drugs or something like that. And hilarity ensues, and then you also have the people from the nursing home calling the police, and please help find this 100-year-old man who can really take care of himself. Along the way, because you have like this gangster kind of thing looking for him as well as the police, then yeah, Alan's kind of on the run, but not really, but maybe. But he collects people along the way, and my dog is like right there in front of me, like focused on what I'm saying. Anyway, you ever just been stared at by a dog? It's a little disconcerting. Anyway, Um, so he's collecting people along the way, and you will find like really endearing characters and things. And you know, the police are looking for him, the gang is looking for him, everybody's looking for him, and just the people that he meets along the way and the things that happen along the way and the situations they get themselves into are funny. And then again, you're going back in time through Alan's life to get him to where, you know, he was. I really enjoyed this book, and I found myself actually out loud chuckling as I have headphones on when I'm doing like simple tasks at work that don't require a lot of like intense thought. So I'm listening to the audiobook while I'm doing this, and I'm chuckling. I'm like literally like laughing, and there's one point that I actually had to pause it, take the earbud out, because I was laughing so hard. It's the point where Sonia and Alan get rid of a problem. You'll know what I'm talking about if you read the book, but that made me laugh so hard. I really enjoyed that book. So if you need a good time, a good laugh, just a fun book, just pick that one up. It was a good time. I gave it 3 or 4 stars. Good time. Anyway, next book, we'll move on, was, I think it was When We Left Cuba? Why can't I find this page? When We Left Cuba by Chanel Clayton. This is book 2 in the Cuba saga. So this is historical fiction. Remember last month I said I was talking about, what was it, Next Year in Havana by the same author. That's the first book. So you've got a family with 4 daughters and a son, and we start out the book, everybody's just gathering everything in like 1959 and fleeing Cuba, and they're exiled. They're not coming back. So in the original book we followed the historical part in Cuba with one of the daughters and then her granddaughter in present day. If you've watched that video, you know that that granddaughter was probably the most infuriating character I've ever read. I couldn't stand her. But I love the historical part. And so when I saw that this book, the second book, which is a companion, but there are spoilers for the first one in this one, so I do recommend reading them in order, was going to be following my favorite sister, Beatrice, and her time from leaving Cuba and like that time. So it's mostly historical fiction. You do have some kind of foreshadowing in the beginning where she's, it's the time that Fidel died, and you know, something happens there. You know, someone brings her like some champagne or whatever, and then you kind of taken back to the original story where they come in and all of that stuff. This book was so much better than the first one. I really loved the story. I loved the kind of intrigue, and you find out just from the blurb that she winds up working for the CIA to kind of work within these terrorist groups, and also she wants to kill Fidel. She wants to go back to Cuba and she wants to kill him. And if you read the first book, you know why. But there's all of this stuff. So she gets involved in these things, and then there's also like a senator involved that she kind of falls in love with, or she falls in love with, and just all kinds of these different things. So it's very intriguing and a really good story. So I did enjoy it. However, same problems with the first book that are with the second book, and it's the writing. There's a lot of and yet, but still, but yet, and still. And then the author learned a new word, machinations, and so anywhere that you could put the word machinations, it was in there. And then again, like you could literally like expect a and yet, but still, you could expect one every single chapter. And it just got to the point where I was like, it was laughable. So I think my issue with these books is the writing. Again, I'm not like caring to continue the story. I'm not like, I don't know. If I read them, I read them. If not, I don't. The writing on these books is just annoying. Like I said, not bad, but annoying because it's very repetitive. It's just so repetitive. It's repetitive. It's annoying, isn't it, when things are repetitive? Anyway, next book that I read, I believe was an actual bookie book. Let's see what we got here. Yes, The Reading Room by, I think it's Anthony Lorraine. We would say Antoine here in the US. But this is a translated book as well. It is from French, and good book. Took me a long time to read it because I didn't like sit there and just like read it in a day like I would normally do a book this size. But I just picked it up and read when I could. So you're kind of going, it's hard to explain. It's a mystery. We have a main character. Her name is Violaine. And she is an editor or something at this publishing house. And you do learn the story of how she became that. But the big deal is the reader's room is where all the manuscripts go when someone submits a manuscript for publication, and they read them in the reader's room. There's like a group of people, and that's their job, to read all these manuscripts and find out if the book is worth publishing or not. And they're like thousands and thousands come in, and we maybe pick 3 or 4. And so I'm sure it's a daunting task. So there's a book that comes in, and it's incredibly just like great. Like, it's a short book, but it's a mystery, and it's wonderful, and everybody's losing their minds over it, and blah blah blah. And it is shortlisted for this prestigious prize. The problem is nobody knows who the author is. They don't even know if the person is like real. They don't know if it's a man. They don't know if it's a woman. They've only contacted the editor, Violaine, through email, and they signed their contracts via post. Like, they mailed them, signed them, mailed them back, so no one's ever met them. But these murders were happening, and they match the story perfectly. And there we go. So the editor, Violaine, is being contacted by the police. They're like, who is this person? She's like, I don't know. But the side thing is, Violaine has been in an accident, and when she comes back, there are lots of things she doesn't remember. And many of the things are her vices. So apparently she, like, was a kleptomaniac, but she didn't remember being that. And yeah, so she has like a therapist that she speaks with, and he's like telling her, yeah, that's what you did, and that's how you got this, and blah blah blah. She's like, I can remember purchasing every little thing except for these things. And he's like, because you stole them. And there's some other things that have gone on, and she just can't remember. And so she's getting a little scared about the whole book thing as well. It all works out in the end. The ending is satisfying, like how it happens. There's a tiny, tiny bit of magical realism in here. Tiny bit, but I did enjoy this book. It's very short, so I can't tell you too much without giving it all away. But I really enjoyed it, and I do recommend it, and it's a good time, and it's really easy to read. The only thing that kind of gets me is because I don't speak French, there are things that we don't have a translation for, such as, like, in English we use the word fiancé for someone that you want to marry, and that is a French word because we don't actually have a word for it, so we borrow the French word. There are words like that in here, very few, but I don't know. And then there's like some of the places and the people's names and stuff like that. I don't really know how to pronounce them very well. Like I can say them in English, but I'm sure that's not how they're supposed to be pronounced. But as far as like translated work and being able to understand things that are happening and blah blah blah, yeah, this is an easy one. I really did enjoy this one, so yeah. That's definitely one for you to check out if you like little mysteries and stuff. It's very intriguing and you're like, what is happening? And then right now I'm reading Fuzz, When Nature Breaks the Law by Mary Roach. I'm gonna have a whole book chat on that because that is our book club book of the month. So if you want to be in on that, be sure you have read it before the book comes, or before the book chat comes out, which should be next Friday. I'm really enjoying this book. The writing is dry as a cracker, but it's pretty funny and it's very informational, and I'm actually enjoying all of it. So there's your little taste test of that. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this quick little video for the week. I hope it was, you know, valuable to you. If you have read anything so far this month that you think I should check out, let me know in the comments below. And again, thanks for watching. Have a great day, gorgeous.